It made me cry.
This one's wife. The UK will forgive her. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. An article in the Express tells us this one's wife and Prince Harry would be forgiven by public as pair tipped for UK return. Prince Harry and this one's wife would be forgiven by the British public were they to make a UK return, a royal commentator has claimed. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have seen their popularity in the United Kingdom, as well as the United States, plummet over the years, ever since they quit their royal duties and moved to America in 2020. But GB News host Peter Andre, yes, that well-known journalist, he might have sung Mysterious Girl and had to deal with an unfortunate entanglement with Katie Price, but royal commentator and journalist he is not. Nevertheless, he said that showing remorse would go a long way to curry favour once more with Britons. He stated, "The British public are incredibly forgiving. If someone shows the right kind of remorse and someone would be willing to go, 'I've messed up,' they're incredible. I just don't think you see that a lot." The British are quite annoyed at Harry at the moment. If he comes back and apologises, I do think the British public would be like that. That's the beautiful thing about this country. Now, there is a possibility that Harry could be forgiven. The reason being is that there are many people who recognise that his unpleasant behaviours have been as a consequence of the undue influence that has been asserted over him by his wife. That if Harry alone were to return and offer his apology for what has been said and done as he wakes up from the fog of the manipulation and his own emotional thinking, there's a possibility that he could be forgiven. But the suggestion by Peter Andre about recognising people who've messed up is not what this one's wife is about. What Peter Andre is referring to is somebody who has made a mistake, who has done something where they've had a moment of madness, and then they come along and say, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa, that they were largely liked by the British public. They've done something which is unpleasant, problematic, and they've shown suitable remorse for it. In those circumstances, the British public may well forgive them. But the problem that exists with this one's wife, and where Peter Andre isn't right about her being forgiven, is that whilst the British public gave her every chance in the beginning, and many people welcomed her with open arms and were supportive, she soon shat all over that. She didn't just make one mistake. She engaged in a succession of behaviours which slated the United Kingdom and its people, attacked the royal family. She repeatedly demonstrated behaviours by being unpleasant towards the Princess of Wales, bullying Princess Charlotte, conducting herself in a way which was viewed as wholly reprehensible whilst Prince Philip was dying, that she made the last months of the Queen particularly difficult while she was old and infirm, that she continued to fire potshots from across the ocean, and that isn't a one-off incident of getting things wrong, a mistake, a perhaps moment of madness, but the fact is that she is seen as a thoroughly unpleasant individual, that people either recognise that she's a narcissist and understand what that means, or, where they don't, they do not see her as somebody who is essentially decent and made a mistake. They just see her as a horrible, horrible person. The article continues stating, this comes as the Sussex couple are reportedly gearing up to branch out their rebrand in the United Kingdom, with this one's wife having already hired a UK-based PR executive to bolster her image in the country. The new PR guru will reportedly be in charge of UK and European media and will report back to this one's wife and Prince Harry's PR team in the United States, according to The Telegraph. The couple's latest move marks the first time they felt they needed an employee in the United Kingdom since their sensational departure from the royal family. It is thought to reflect their growing workload as they increase their profiles and independent ventures, according to reports. Meanwhile, an insider warned that not many PR people in the United Kingdom would be willing to work with Harry and this one's wife out of fear the couple may not listen to their advice. The source told the Mail, the royal family is looking short-staffed and quite elderly. The Sussexes have a popularity problem and can see there is an opportunity to step in to fill a vacuum over here with their own work. There is also growing noise stateside that Harry would like to carry out duties on behalf of his father again. American stars also often expect their PRs to spend their time shouting at people. That's not going to appeal either in the UK, where things are done rather differently. The suggestion is that if some remorse is shown, this one's wife will be forgiven by the public. She won't show remorse because she's incapable of it. There's the possibility that she could exhibit some false contrition, which would not fool the majority of people. But I actually think that she wouldn't even demonstrate that her narcissism would continue to tell her that she's the one that's owed the apology, that in actual fact she's doing the nation a favour by coming over and helping out. That is the high-handed attitude that this one's wife exhibits, that she believes that she does the world a favour by coming to see you, that she ought to be paid for everything that she should do. And of course, Peter Andre doesn't truly understand either the nature of the dislike for her, and furthermore, the fact that this one's wife would not show any remorse, or if she did, that it would be false, and that even a demonstration of some form of contrition would be insufficient to win over the British public as a consequence of her behaviour. But what do the readers of The Express think? There are many hundreds of comments in response to this article. Viking 2, Peter Andre is obviously fucking clueless then. Natoff writes, somehow, I really do not think the majority of the people in the UK are prepared to forgive these two for the way they have treated the firm. By their past performance, they cannot simply be trusted. That woman, this one's wife's relationship with her own family, must be a warning to everybody. Her royal titles at the moment give access to making money. Without them, she would simply be a has-been. Aquamarine, oh, Peter, you are totally wrong. There's no chance. Mirelle, Peter Andre, you are way, way out of touch. They will not be forgiven for the way they treated the late Queen and Duke of Edinburgh in their final days. They will not be forgiven for suggesting their £32 million wedding was just a spectacle for the peasants, or for suggesting we're all racists. They will not be forgiven for trashing the Prince and Princess of Wales and their children. They will not be forgiven for the 21 known lies they told in the Oprah Winfrey show. They won't be forgiven for allowing Scooby to name the supposed racist in the royal family and saying nothing in support of the royal family. Need I go on? The time for forgiveness ended when they decided the royal family, the UK and its people were not worth their time. If it's all gone tits up since then, it's their fault and no one else's. Live with it. Safety Man responds, well said. We don't want the toxic duo. Ordumia, they're using the king's illness to wheedle their way back in and are trying to make out that the public want them and it's William and Catherine who are being unfair to the little victims. They are beneath contempt and can never be trusted. Bokafan, couple is not mature enough to admit any wrongdoings. It's not their nature. Besides, it's too late for the Queen and Prince Philip, isn't it? Hardly the views of people that are amenable to the return of this one's wife. Joe362 states, this is the opinion of a man, referring to Peter Andre, who thought Katie Price was going to be his mate for life, demonstrating that Peter Andre really doesn't have his finger on the pulse here. Ruby31, this British citizen will never forgive them or welcome them back. Ever. Usarian, I just don't know where you get this from, Daily Express. Haven't you read the opinion polls that rate both these two only marginally higher than Prince Andrew? They will not be welcomed back, especially her. All trust is lost, nor will they play any part in being involved with the British public ever again. Greg Martin, not a chance, keep away from England. Blue Uzi ads and Scotland, BW808 ads and Wales. Baphomet. I have little time for any of them, least of all a jumped-up divorcee who can't even visit her ailing father. Susie Q. How on earth could they be trusted, them coming here and being forgiveness for the birds? Maybe this one's wife could go and see her ailing father, but there's nothing in that for her, is there? Well, very clear views, Peter Andre, completely missing the point and demonstrating that they would not be welcome back. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.